is entirely in you.
Definitely.
In you and your name. That's what people don't give a fuck about those 3 letters.
At all.
At all. They just know Terence Crawford's the best. And who he's fighting, who cares? Like, whatever it is, that's the big fight. It doesn't... WBO, WBC, no, IBF. Nobody gives a fuck.
They don't.
I always say I never understand why we become champion have to pay for a belt. Keep that shit.
Yeah.
Keep it.
As long as they paid for the sanctioning bodies. But Crawford left out one, and that was the WBC. So, by default, on paper, he's not undisputed.
Joe Rogan just added gasoline to a fire that was already burning out of control. In one of his boldest takes in months, Rogan went directly at the WBC after they stripped Terence "Bud" Crawford of his super middleweight world title and even revoked his boxing license. And honestly, it's hard to blame him. This isn't just a belt being taken away. It's a power struggle between a generational fighter and an organization acting like it owns every piece of the sport's history.
The belts don't mean nothing. We paying for the belts.
How much do you have to pay?
We gotta pay like, what, 3%?
3%.
2%, 3%. Like,
that's crazy.
Definitely.
That's
so it's like,
crazy.
It's like I'm paying you to make me a belt.
Rogan didn't hold back. He voiced what millions of fans have whispered for years. Boxing has become a pay-to-play system where even elite fighters are forced to hand over huge fees just to be recognized as champions. Crawford finally snapped and said he was done with it. The moment exploded beyond boxing circles. From Keyshawn Davis defending Crawford like a brother, to Teofimo Lopez firing back, and even Jimmy Lennon Jr. subtly exposing the sport's flaws, everyone had an opinion. But Rogan's hit hardest because he wasn't speaking from inside the system. He spoke from the outside, saying exactly what the public has believed for a long time. And that's where this took off.
Do you have to pay 3% to each individual section?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of them is different. Some of them is 3, some of them 2. You know, so it's like, I'm paying for you to come out here and watch me fight to give me a belt that, you know what I mean, I'm already paying for.
Rogan's rant blew up online and sparked real questions about boxing's future. What began quietly turned explosive fast. On December 3rd, the WBC stripped Crawford of his super middleweight title, claiming he refused to pay sanctioning fees for his last 2 fights, his massive win over Canelo Alvarez and the earlier bout with Israel Madrimov. Controversial on its own, but the twist? Crawford reportedly made $50 million from the Canelo fight, a number that shocked the entire industry.
% of his fees to go there. So Crawford made in the ballpark of $50 million. The WBC assessed $300,000 sanction fee, with $225,000 going to the fund and $75,000 going to the WBC.
Even after delivering a historic event that put the WBC in the spotlight, Crawford was accused of refusing to pay what the organization calls his dues. And just like that, they acted. Title gone. License revoked. A fighter punished for questioning a system.
I never understand why we become champion have to pay for a belt. Keep that shit.
Yeah.
Keep it. I'm not gonna work 14, 15 years for me to pay for something I worked for. When I went to the Olympics, did I pay for that damn medal?
Then came Keyshawn Davis, one of boxing's fastest rising stars and someone completely unafraid to speak plainly. In a fiery interview, Davis said what fighters have felt for years but rarely dared to say out loud. I never understood why we have to pay for a belt. Keep that. I worked my whole life for this. Why am I paying for something I already earned? When I went to the Olympics, did I pay for that medal? No. So keep the belt. You're not getting my money.
No. If I walk into this arena without this belt, is these people still gonna show up? Yes. So keep the belt. You're not gonna take my money.
That quote hit every boxing page within hours. Davis doubled down, saying he told the WBO the same thing, that paying for belts is outdated, unfair, and borderline disrespectful. To him, belts are symbols of achievement, not invoices. No fighter should have to buy what they already fought to earn with blood and sacrifice.
I agree with Terence, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't agree with paying for belts. That's why, for all the sanctioning bodies, you know what I'm saying? And I told this to the one that I was under, the WBO. I told him to, I said, I don't really believe in that. And he explained why. And I was like, okay, but I still don't agree with it. You know what I mean? So like, I'm always gonna be like for not paying for belts, because what the fuck are we paying?
Fans loved it. And it wasn't just about siding with Crawford. It became a statement from a new generation tired of old systems. Then, at the height of the conversation, Joe Rogan stepped in. Picture Rogan leaning into the mic, voice calm but sharp with frustration. He asked plainly, why are fighters paying hundreds of thousands for a belt they already won? It's like taxing someone for excellence. Fans care about the fights, not the logo. The WBC looked greedy, and that take spread across social media instantly.
It's entirely in you.
Definitely.
In you and your name. That's what people don't give a fuck about those 3 letters.
At all.
At all. They just know Terence Crawford's the best. And who he's fighting, who cares? Like, whatever it is, that's the big fight. It doesn't WBO, WBC, no, IBF. Nobody gives a fuck.
Rogan's criticism hit harder because he isn't attached to the political machinery of boxing. He wasn't protecting promoters, networks, or sanctioning bodies. He was defending the essence of competition. He pointed out that the sanctioning system has turned into an outdated machine feeding off the very athletes keeping the sport alive.
The fact that he's gamed the system.
Yeah.
You know, because the system is you get to a certain point in time, you're a champion, make as much money as you possibly can, you retire, and then there's no more money. Now with what's going on in like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, like you can get paid insane amounts of money. Like people just want to see you perform.
He compared it to a restaurant charging a chef just to serve his own food, and he wasn't wrong. Fans across Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube backed him, saying Crawford wasn't disrespecting boxing. He was exposing a bluff the sport has hidden for decades. But not everyone saw it that way. Teofimo Lopez stepped in with a completely different perspective.
Following Crawford was indeed for the undisputed. However, it was indeed, now hear me out, Punch, this was indeed accurate as long as they paid for the sanctioning bodies. But Crawford left out one, and that was the WBC. So, by default, on paper, he's not undisputed.
To Lopez, the situation was simple. Rules are rules. He said the Canelo-Crawford fight was for undisputed status, but Crawford didn't pay for the WBC belt, so technically he's not undisputed. I paid for my sanctioning belt. If they can do it to me, they can do it to him. His stance was clear. If you want the belt, you follow the system, ugly or not. But fans pushed back hard. Many accused Lopez of protecting corruption instead of structure. And that's where Rogan's argument struck deepest, because it exposed a double standard the sport has tolerated for years. As Lopez defended the system, another legend entered from a different angle.
What the hell is going on? I gotta pull over for this one. What the hell is going on? We talking about anybody that bring up Terence Crawford name, you already know I'm listening, right? Yeah, somebody said that. Can Terence Crawford beat everybody on Floyd Mayweather's resume?
Timothy Desert Storm Bradley. His video rant went viral not for politics, but for pure conviction. He didn't care about fees or organization protocols. He cared about greatness. Bradley said, anybody saying Crawford couldn't beat Floyd's guys, you're tripping. Crawford would have smashed everyone on Floyd's resume. Harder puncher, more versatile, killer instinct on 10. Then he pushed further, calling out Mayweather himself. Floyd, you say you're the best ever. Get in the ring with Crawford and prove it.
Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Terence Crawford smashed everybody that Floyd ever fought. Yup. Man Freddy, done. Fried. Crawford would have beat him, dominated him, knocked him the hell out. Crawford hit harder than Floyd. Crawford hits harder than Floyd. You understand that? Killer instinct is on 10. Oh, man, come on, man. Crawford can do everything Floyd can do, and he can do.
Fans erupted. Bradley wasn't just defending Crawford, he was reframing his place in history. Stripped belt or not, Bradley argued that Crawford's legacy is already secure. Then came one of boxing's calmest and most respected voices, Jimmy Lennon Jr. He didn't take sides, but what he said cut to the core.
I think, like Mauricio, I'm going to take a high road, but I will say it's unfortunate for the sport of boxing. I think talking about money too much and it is not the high road. And so we've seen some kind of ugly and not so pretty things, exchanges happen here. And so it's unfortunate, but it is a reality.
It's unfortunate for the sport. We're seeing some ugly exchanges, but this isn't new. It's been happening for decades. One fighter refuses to pay fees, and it forces the sport to ask tough questions about the role of sanctioning bodies. Translation: this isn't about Crawford. It's a cycle boxing has repeated for generations. Fighters rise. Organizations profit. And when someone challenges the system, they face consequences. Lennon said it softly, but
I think there's some things behind the scenes that I have heard about that aren't necessarily public yet, which makes this an impasse. So I think both have their reasons, but I would hope that this would be out of. I don't like it being as a part of the news. There's some ugliness about it, and that's unfortunate. At the same time, this has been happening in boxing for a long, long time.
Boxing's power structure has always been fragile. Crawford's rebellion just made the cracks impossible to ignore. At the core of Rogan's rant wasn't just Crawford's situation, it was every fighter who ever had to pay for recognition. Rogan argued that the WBC and similar bodies have turned boxing into business first, sport second. Fans instantly agreed. Because if greatness can be erased over a fee, what does a title even mean? Rogan's frustration, Keyshawn's defiance, Bradley's passion, all point to one simple reality. The system isn't just outdated. It's broken. Crawford now stands outside the WBC, no belt, no license. Yet somehow, he's never looked more powerful. What began as controversy has turned into a movement.
You're not paying me, I'm paying you. So
Right.
the only one that really matters is the ring belt because it's free. It's free. Like, why do I gotta pay to be champion?
Yeah.
Once you start thinking about that, like, dang,
Yeah.
I'm paying all this money.
And the Ring Magazine belt is as respected as any of them.
Yeah, that's the #1 guy in the division.
Crawford got more skills than Floyd. Yeah, he would have beat everybody ass. Everybody. Zab Judah too, that's my guy. Crawford would have got your ass too. Yup, that's my